Hello everyone, welcome back to my stream of my blue spotted ray. So on, I think it was Monday, I sort of sorted out the front and I'm just going to start moving backwards. Today is mainly the focus on the eye. I just want to make sure that the eye is popping, make sure the gill is well defined, and just make the ray look a lot more natural in its environment. So, today I'm going to start off with the orange around the eye. You can see in the reference image up at the top, the eye is much more orange than what I've got on the screen here. I'm really going to have a look at orange, and I think the orange I'm going to use is probably going to be cadmium orange. I'll obviously mix that in with a bit of the green around it. But the first thing I like to do, as always, is get the colours on the palette. I won't need much orange. Orange is a very strong colour, obviously. I'll add a bit of white. And I'll do some shading later on, but I won't add it down right now. I will tone it down using a tiny bit of... I'll get out my yellow ochre as usual. And I might get a bit of burnt umber. Just add a bit of depth to the orange as well. So, let's start giving it a little bit of a wash, an orange wash around the eyeball. I'm going to focus on this bit underneath and then just sort of work around. So this might take a little while because it's the most detailed, well, it's not necessarily the most detailed, it's the most striking part of the animal, so it has to be pretty perfect. Because that's where your eye is going to be drawn to on the painting. I'll start mixing. I'll add a bit of water on this orange. Seems very dry. Add a bit of white just to lighten it up so it's not so strong. Now this orange is surprisingly, for nature anyway, this orange is surprisingly orange. I'll add a bit of yellow ochre as well. I think the yellow ochre is sort of tones it down a bit. I think that's pretty accurate. I don't need... Actually, I'll add a little bit more orange. I'll use that orangey part there. And what I'm going to do is hopefully add it on quite lightly around this spot here, and it sort of comes down to here and then back up. Well, actually, it comes up like this. I'm just going to sort of do the vague outside first. Feather it in my finger, I think, because that's going to be the best way. This is quite an alien looking creature anyway. I don't really mind about it looking totally natural. That comes all the way down to here. It fades in at the bottom down here. Already you can see the massive difference that's made just by painting that orange. And actually the orange goes a lot deeper as well, all the way down to about here. And it fades out quite nicely, but now I haven't got so much on my brush, I'll be able to fade that in quite easily just by using these sort of gentle brush strokes. And as I said anyway, I'll use my finger in a sec to sort of fade it in, as you already know what my technique's like. Not sure I like this song. Right already, this orange is very, very striking. Let me dab a little bit of water on my finger. So I love using my finger because you get a lot of control over how your paint sort of fades in or blends in. I know a lot of people tend to use the brush, but for me, finger is the best. It's interesting, isn't it? There's a clear line there. And under here there's a pretty clear line as well. There's a lot of detail around this eyeball, a lot of detail. Oh, way too much paint. As you can see, I've just rescued that by fading it in with my finger. When I did the eye earlier, before, I got the wrong shape. So I need to go back and redo that shape. The actual eyeball's a similar colour to the skin as well. There's just a highlight underneath of a brighter orange, which I'll do now with a very fine brush if I can find one. Ooh, fine brush. It's quite fine. So I'm actually going to do a blanket, like fresh orange, I don't know what you call it. Pure orange without any mixing the highlights, because I think it's quite accurate. And anyway, this is it's art, so it's quite impressionist. Especially this animal is quite, what's the word? Alien looking, yes. It's a point of brightness here. Yellow ochre up here to blend it in. So already that looks like it's popping a little bit more. I need to go around again with the sort of with the dark border to make it pop. Now this area here, just use this brush actually. I'm just going to add a highlight to this side of it. So this whole little side of the eyeball is much more very highlighted, and then it blends quite quickly into a highlighted ridge across the gill. So we need to define the gill a little bit. There's a nice ridge up there as well, a nice big highlight, just to show where the sort of, I don't know what you call it. What comes down there. So I'll finish off the spots later on. That'll probably be the last thing I do, going around sort of bordering all the spots. I want to get the green and the body all correct first, and then carry on with the spots. A shadow on that. There's a bit of highlight on there. There's not actually really a highlight up here, but I'm going to put one just to define it. Let's step back and take a look. I think that is working quite nicely now. I do need a bit more definition up the top here, so I'll do that now. And I'm just going to use the yellow ochre. A bit of towel. I use yellow ochre way too much when I paint. It's one of those colours, it's not a very strong colour and it blends in so nicely into every other colour. It's a good way of, I don't know how to describe it, it's a good way of sort of adding a natural sort of filter over the actual painting without going too deep. Just noticed there's an awful lot of orange. Oops. Put my brush down in the wrong colour there. An awful lot of orange over this side as well. I'm just going to whack it on and then, as I've been doing throughout, blend it in with my finger. Orange around this spot as well. Maybe in the middle. Oh, I shouldn't shake it that much. Got into the habit of looking at the screen at the painting rather than actually looking at the painting, seeing how it looks on the screen. In a way it works because it's so much smaller than the screen and I'm so much closer. It's like looking at it from a distance. I do need to get into the habit of looking at it properly though. I wasn't planning to do this today, but I've decided apparently I'm going to paint the whole thing orange. It's actually the image. The ray itself is quite orange on the image. So yeah, I am going to paint it orange. Quite orange over here as well. Again, just blend in with my finger. That's a much deeper orange actually, so I'm going to basically go straight in with the full-on orange without much mixing. very orange here as well. So let's just dab a bit of orange there as the highlight. Generally speaking, I do love the outdoors. I do love nature. I grew up in Aberdeenshire, up in Scotland, next to the Cairngorm Mountains, and I genuinely loved it. I genuinely loved the beauty of the mountains, the beauty of nature, understanding, just being out there in the peace with the nature. I think that's what got me inspired about spending a lot of my time in Africa as well, because it's just peaceful. Very few places in this world these days, if you live in a city, where you can just detach yourself and just be happy and peaceful. And somewhere like Aberdeenshire is just really, really nice for it. It's really beautiful. If you ever get the chance, go up for a holiday there. Don't know why I keep painting down there, because it's clearly not orange. As I've always said, the great thing with painting, the great thing with painting is that you make a mistake, you just paint over it. Tell me what you think of the music, by the way. Even if you're watching it afterwards, just tell me what you think of the music in the comments. They usually have a soul, but I think this is more of a funk music. Right, so just think I'll just let it dry. Mixing some water on this paint, it's gone a bit dry. I might as well do this now because I've got the paint a bit lighter than that, I think. What I'm going to do, you see the ridge around the bottom of the ray? Got very light. I think it's where the top and the bottom meet. Got a very light orangey sort of line that goes all the way along here. I'm going to see if I can attempt to create that. It's almost glowing. So I've already done it from here to here, which is very white. About here it turns orange. Let me just sort of get that highlight in there. It's quite a fine line, which I'm really not very good at. I don't have a very steady hand, to be honest. So I was talking about nature being in the Highlands, just being out free in up in the Cairngorms. It's beautiful. Like you against nature, there's very few other people up there. And I honestly lived only like 40, maybe 50 minutes away by car to, I can't remember the name of the actual place we used to walk from. Mar Lodge. It might have been Mar Lodge. And it's just beautiful. Really was stunning. I do miss it up there. I was looking at a house up there recently, but the problem is investing up there at the moment with the economy the way it is. House prices just dropping in Scotland, unfortunately, because the oil industry's gone from Aberdeen. I think that looks quite nice. A little orange highlight along here. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the stream though. Also, what's the best time for me to stream? Let me know. Even if you're watching afterwards and you would like to watch a live stream, tell me what the best time to stream is in the comments. Is it this time? Is it 8 PM on a weekday? That's UK time. Earlier? Tea time? So, I'm very new to this, obviously. I'm very new to YouTube in general. I'm very new to streaming. What I plan to do with all of my paintings, I'm filming it, obviously I'm streaming it, but I'm filming just the painting part as well. And I'll put them into like YouTube shorts and a slightly younger YouTube video. Like on Instagram, Twitch, maybe TikTok. I'm not very good with the social media stuff, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, to be honest. Obviously, I'm open for any sort of commissions and stuff or comments. My real, what's the word? My real inspiration when I'm painting is portraits of people. I do like doing nature and animals, but I find portraits so much more because of the expression of the people. I love capturing someone's expression. I genuinely, when you capture someone's expression, it's just absolutely stunning. I'm not really into landscapes. I've never really done a landscape. I've sat down to try it a few times, but it's just not me. So I sort of distracted myself from what I was actually planning to do today, which was the eyeball. I have the paint on here, so I might as well just try it. Going to sort out this bit. There's a nice little line that does this down here, and then it comes up like here. There's actually another spot there that I missed. Am I going to put that spot in? I don't think it's actually needed, that spot. For the painting, that is. I'm sure the blue spotted ray will be upset if he knew I wasn't painting his spots or her spots. Might be wrong, but I think the blue spotted ray female is brown. I can't remember if that's true or not. I just feel like I heard that somewhere. You do get quite a lot of brown rays in places like Egypt as well. I don't think there's any particular ones that are dangerous or anything. Well, they are stingrays, so they've got stings in them, but they don't attack you. Go, just adding a nice little highlight there. Probably a bit bright, to be honest. Let me just add a bit of orange to. There's a really fine highlight that runs along this. So I'll put that with a bit of orange. So I'll capture it as I do this. Much darker, a bit brown. I My technique of painting, I don't particularly like mixing on the palette. I'm mixing on the canvas. I find it much and easier, to be honest, because you're mixing with colour that's already there, not creating a new colour. I'm resisting the temptation of bringing out the Payne's Grey, which is my favourite sort of dark tone colour. I'm going to need it to bring it out for the edge of the eye in a sec, like define the actual eyeball. Comes down like that. I've actually got this eyeball quite wrong, the shape of the eye quite wrong. It actually comes down. If I do that, that's more realistic. It's actually a more realistic colour as well, I think. Let's just fade that in. I think it looks quite nice. One thing that might be quite nice is if I do like before and after photos of each stream. I don't know how I'd put that, whether I put it on Instagram or as a YouTube short, like a 30-second or a minute. Just this is what I did today in my stream. Let me know what you think. I don't know the social media stuff, so yeah, let me know. As I said, Payne's Grey. To be honest, it's so dark, it's almost there. Need to buy more of this. I was saying all the shadows are so dark, it's almost just a black I need. I need putting black on paintings though. Doesn't work. Right, I'm now going to try and get the shape like it is supposed to be. It's very angular here, and then it comes across flat. There's a really nice sweeping edge of the eye. You can actually see what I'm doing there. Very angular, this eye, actually. I know that's terrible, but I'll sort it out. May have got a bit too extreme with the angles. It's quite a really big dark bit there. Right in this top corner, which I've already got, to be honest. That's that. I'll wait for that to dry and then I'll paint over it with orange. What I will do in the meantime though, really, really bright orange highlight just underneath the eye, and I'll just paint that over the top using the bit of texture. It isn't very stable. Yeah, let's do the same thing in this top corner here. And down here. Right, I'm going to use black, but only for the people. I use lamp black. You can use Mars black, which is like black. Lamp black's a little bit more. It's black. widening this a bit. Make a grey down here. Oh no. Works if I fade it in. Especially a bit of Payne's grey actually. Fade it in from the black. Then using Payne's grey again, there's some creases in the gill. I'm just gonna paint them in. As I say, the great thing with painting, it doesn't actually really matter what colour you use, because it's all interpretation. As long as it has the same effect on the eyes, what you're doing is you're actually interpreting what you can see, not necessarily trying to be super accurate. Well, I'm not anyway. I don't see the value in, maybe that's too dark. I don't see the value personally in making super realistic paintings. A, it takes far too long, and B, the camera. So as I said, whatever it was, maybe Tuesday, Monday, when I did my last stream. I think as of next week I'll start scheduling them on Twitch and YouTube so people know when my streams are rather than just randomly turning up. The reason I'm currently doing this is because this is my first week of streaming. I didn't really want to pressure myself into meeting a schedule because of technical difficulties. And now I've pretty much set it up so I can come here 5-10 minutes beforehand, make sure the stream is all working, do a little recording, hear myself, and then from there we can just start streaming. And it all works by the look of it. I do appreciate your feedback as well. I've always thought of my channel as being like something that people would fall asleep to. Sort of like, I don't know, chilled out, relaxing vibes. My husky voice, that sort of thing. The marketing department in my company once described my voice as sort of like a dark hot chocolate. I do plan to do mindfulness videos actually. So I'm just adding some, this is actually vermilion. Is it vermilion? No, it's orange red. I'm just adding some orange red into this, just to grab the highlights of the orange, the really orange bits. And then I'm just going to blend them in with my finger. Still very dark, that bit. It's quite difficult. Let me have a look. Definitely missing something in his eye. Might be missing some green. Or am I going to go back to my old trusty yellow ochre and be like, I need to fix it with this? Black line's too even and thick. So let me just soften it out with this yellow ochre. Maybe that works. I'll come back to it. Sometimes you just get to a point where you're just like, you know, you're not helping. And actually, I might step away, have a look at it tomorrow, or I think, wow, that actually looks alright. Sorry. This is the reference image. Around there. I think it's terrible. Might be the wrong color. I might just need more yellow ochre in the actual eyeball. That's probably too much. Add yellow. Oh, yeah, that's made a huge difference. Sorry, that was quite camp. Ooh. So this whole area is quite dark. There needs to be a lot more shadowing going on here. So I might attempt that next. I'm always a bit hesitant doing shadowing because, well, as you expect, it can go wrong quite quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the orange that I've already mixed. I'm going to add a tiny bit of black, which I had on there. Just make it a bit darker. Yeah, I've probably gone, maybe I haven't gone too dark there. I'm doing quite a big mix for this. So that's not very dark at all when it actually goes onto the painting. So I want to add the Payne's grey. A bit better. Not that dark. I'm always nervous about adding black to the paintings. You really destroy a painting if you add too much black. To paint over the whole thing. It's okay, that's working quite well. Actually, the whole shadow colours. Yeah. Right, so I've already done the shadow down here, actually, that's interesting. I did it in green. But it comes around here and it's a lot darker here. I need to darken that if I'm going to darken this bit. This is all quite dark here. And then it comes down into a nice sort of point shadow down here. And you've got a little bit that comes across like this. How does that look? I think that looks alright. I don't know what on earth I'm listening to today. I'm going to change the playlist, I don't particularly like this music. Shout out now if you want to keep listening to it. I'm going to put some soul on. You're wondering I use epidemic sounds? Means I shouldn't get copyrighted. I've not monetized any yet anyway. I don't think I ever will monetize my channels, to be honest. I'm more about painting and showing people my skill rather than earning money from it. I'm saying I'll earn money if people pay me to paint, but I don't think I need to earn money from streaming. Just ads get in the way of everything, don't they? Get in the way of enjoyment, get in the way of life. And when was the last time you actually bought something from an ad? Well, most people buy stuff from ads, but I certainly don't. Really dark up there, actually. I'm considering doing a 12-hour Christmas stream on Christmas Day. Family's going away to the Caribbean, and so I'm staying here by myself. You guys think that's going to be valuable? I could do that for 12 hours on Christmas Day. Maybe find a painting of, I don't know, a Christmas scene, a couple of elves, Santa Claus, a reindeer, paint it on an A2 or I don't know, a large canvas, see if I can finish that in a day. Start at 9 AM. Well, that'd be exhausting though, but I know other people do it. So these lines don't really exist in the reference image, but I just thought it would look nice. The painting's not, as I say, painting's not really about copying exactly, it's what you feel. And actually looking at that, I think they do look nice. I think they highlight the white quite nicely. I still think the eye needs something, I don't really know what at the moment. One of the other places I've been to in the world, which I thought was really stunning, and it was, I think, more because of the architecture and the sort of culture. I'm going to think I'm a massive communist now. It's Cuba. It was very stereotypical of what you'd find in a, what you see in a sort of film about communist countries. It was really eye-opening. If you can travel to somewhere like Cuba, I would definitely recommend it. They're having a total disastrous time at the moment with their power and electricity. It's a real shame. I'm wondering whether I move on from the eye. Whether I move on from the eye and start looking at the flap that you got most forward, what you call it, wing, whatever. Start making that all work nicely around there. It's not too bad, that's not a lot of work, that's just evening out the colour, making sure the colour is quite right. So there's a subtle highlight, like a subtle highlight around here, goes up here. Apart from that, it's a fairly flat colour. This is a bit darker. It's flat, but it's textured with lines going there. I might have a go at attempting that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my brushes. I'll start a new palette. Oh, got filthy that one. Are any more plates? It's an order I need to do. Running out of palettes. I was thinking of buying some proper palettes actually, but I don't know. Just acrylic, basically. I might do that actually. Probably a lot easier to clean than just plastic plates. Right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to try and replicate this colour along here. This is darker, so I'll start off with the dark, go a bit lighter, and it's a bit darker over here I think. But there's nice textured lines running this way. And then after that what I'll do is I'll go up here, do the highlight up here, and then sort out the tail, whatever's going on with the tail. So that will leave me in a very good place to finish off the sort of spots tomorrow, and then I can start on the background or whenever I do my next stream. As I say, I will start scheduling streams going forward. I have to stick to them. At the moment I'm just doing them ad hoc when I feel like it. So for the green, I'm going to use Hooker's Green. I won't need much because this is just, that's quite a lot. I am going to then use, it's got quite a lot of yellow in it, so I'm going to use, am I going to use yellow ochre? I'm going to use yellow ochre. I'm also going to use for the highlights, Golden Yellow Deep. Oh, that is very bright. I might not use that actually, now it's on the palette. So, let's continue. I need some white. Will I need white? I won't start with white. I will need some Payne's Grey though. Actually, I'll use black. Tip for you guys that I found really useful: putting a tiny little dab of black is much safer than putting a big dab of black, because it means you won't end up filling it up. So yellow ochre is the main colour, as always. To be honest, it's almost exactly the right colour already. So I'm going to dab the black, create my own area of deep yellow ochre. Again, gone far too much on the dark yellow ochre. Grab my yellow, see if I can lighten it up. Oh, that has turned it into quite a green colour. I'll just grab a dash of green to turn it green. I think that is not the right colour. I'm going to use all the yellow ochre. Made it. So this should be fine, I think, for this area. Have a little test. Yeah, I think that's the right one, and we'll bend it in where it goes. When I say blend it in, just means use my finger basically. That's all quite dark there, which I'll do the highlight. This bit's a bit brighter. I do need to go darker down here. I'll do that in a sec. So again, I'm just painting it a bit flat, and then I'm going to add texture in later on. You guys have any other tips on how to sort of make my channels take off, or my channel, sorry, in different social media? So I'm on Twitch. I don't have many followers. I'm on YouTube. I have a few subscribers on YouTube actually already. I don't know who they are because I've only told about 4 or 5 people, but I've got 20 something followers, so that's really good. I'm really pleased with that. And after all, I'll be doing the painting anyway, so I don't really mind about how many people I get. And I'm not planning to make oodles of money from streaming, so I'm gonna share my talent, to be honest. This is where you guys say, well, you don't have any talent. Really textured waves going on here, which I'll have to paint in a sec. Really textured. So that's that. I need to make this a lot darker. So again, I'm just going to grab, mix in the black. Dab a bit of water on there, just to make it flow a little bit more. Also, when if you add water onto the paint, what happens is, if you've gone a bit over the top with the colour, you can very easily wipe it off with a bit of kitchen towel, or is what I tend to use. This is just adding a bit of shadow down here. I think that works quite nicely there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my brush here. I'm going to go back to my other palette, which is this one. It's probably all dry now, but there will be some wet bits. There we go, found a nice wet bit. I'm going to use that. It's not the most accurate colour in the world. I'm going to start creating like... So you see those faint lines that are coming in from, if you look at my hand, they're coming in this way. I'm going to start bringing in those lines to add a bit of texture. They start off about here. Now that's really, really obvious and really bright. I'm just going to use my finger and see if that will calm it down. And it does, it smudges it in, so there's a little bit of texture. If I keep doing that, I reckon quite a nice bit of texture there. Really, really subtle, but really exactly what we want. But really faintly like this. Smudge it in. Just noticed as well, there's actually quite a big orange area. I've still got orange, that's good on this palette. I'm just going to do a little bit of a very, 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 very heavy orange, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a wash. You see that's really bright now. I just do this with my finger. I'm going to have to go quite hard. See how I can get the highlight quite nicely? I dab a bit of water on here. That's probably a bit too much water, but if you quickly smudge it in, so you get a very nice orange highlight. Rub out from that spot. You can see the orange coming through really nicely. And that's what texture I was talking about just then. It's not that true to the image, but I think it really captures what this animal actually looks like. By the way, all the white speckles and all the sand on top, I'll deal with all that right at the end. So I'll be streaming an hour now. Probably do another half hour and then maybe call it a day. So I'm making this quite dark now. That's very dark. A bit more yellow ochre from this palette. And what I'm going to do, dark green, that's fine, I'll just mix it in. I'm very clumsy, as you can tell. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to focus on this area here and get those nice ridges that they're all over the thing. This is where all the detail comes in, so I'm not going to copy it exactly, there's no point. But what I will do is I'll at least get the shapes. I'm going to just do a single blank colour which is this sort of very, very dark green. I'm going to create like a ridge effect, like that. And then what I'm going to do, once that dries, I'm going to put highlights of like sand in between. This is quite kind of accurate to the actual image I'm dealing with. To be fair, that's in totally the wrong place. Actually start from down here, but we can make do with what I just done. And then this comes like this. Very straight line actually. There's loads of these little sort of come into ridges as well, down like this. So adding this sort of texture is really going to be, it's going to bring it all together, to be honest. They do look a little bit like Go Faster stripes at the moment, if I'm honest. How does it actually look? Yeah, I think it looks alright. Up close it looks a bit useless, but it does up close, doesn't it? I'm rubbing my finger over it to soften the lines. This comes all the way down to here, so let me just continue this.
When I turn up, you get going. At every stop, baby, oh, it's showing. If I should stay, you find a reason to leave. When I'm busy, that's the time you are free. Just tell me, what should I do? How can I get through? Tell me, baby. every step you take to. I keep reaching out to you.
I might not finish the whole body today. Well, I mean, I'm not going to finish the, I'm certainly not going to be able to finish the blue dots, but spots. I don't think I'll be able to finish the whole body in general. Those sort of green bits. Actually, to be fair, it's only that bit. I might be able to. Just fucking this bit at the end. So, I'm going to make it quite dark today. That's in the whole painting. The plan is I'll add the highlights. I tend to add all the highlights later. This bit I'm going to keep quite light. I'm going to neaten it up a little bit, but it doesn't need much. That really doesn't need much work. So actually, I've run out of palettes here. I'm going to whack a bit of white on there. Way too much. I always use way too much white. No, white goes quite a long way. White doesn't go quite a long way is what I was trying to say. That's really yellowy, that colour. I'm going to reuse my golden... Oh, actually, I already got some on there, I didn't notice. Right, at the end of the stream, I'll answer that question. I'll move my camera around because I'm recording this and I want to do a sort of time lapse later on. I won't move it quite yet. I'll do it at the end of the stream. Yeah, I'll record the setup at the end of the stream. That's completely the wrong colour. Completely the wrong colour. I'll rescue this. It's not the wrong colour actually. Ah, that is. Green appeared in my paintbrush. You do that, just take a kitchen towel and it seems to come off quite nice. As I say, this is a wash. I'm not really necessarily changing the colour of it, although I appear to be changing the colour of it too much. Just a wash to neaten everything up. A bit more yellow in, maybe cadmium yellow actually. I'll whack it straight on the colour. These are Faber-Castell really good brushes. I bought them in Kenya actually, in Textbook Centre, the shop. I don't know, I'm not experienced enough to say that for 100% that good doctors and stuff make you a better artist. I don't think they do, but it makes it a lot easier. I used to play a lot of cricket. Cricket bat does not make you a good... Buying good cricket bat does not make you a good cricketer. Flat out does not. However, having a reasonable bat, it's a lot easier it adds shots in a good way. That makes sense? A bit like this. A bad cricket bat you won't be able to hit very good shots. A good cricket bat, even the average cricket player, you don't have to hit your shot perfectly. I always used to blame my bat rather than my ability. It's weird. It's like my bat had moods. Sometimes it'd be absolutely amazing, and I'd hit some amazingly good shots. But the next week I couldn't hit any, and I'd always blame the bat. I'm just softening these lines up a little bit because they're a bit over the top. Yeah, I prefer acrylics. I have tried oils a couple of times. One, they make me go extremely high. I don't really like using them. Two, I prefer acrylics because they dry quickly. Some people hate acrylics because they dry quickly, but for me, I prefer it drying quickly. I'm just going to whack a highlight on here, even though there isn't really one on the painting. I'm just going to whack it on. This is quite a pleasant song. Alright, I think I need to whack a bit of Payne's Grey out for the tail. Very, very dark tail actually compared to the rest. Got a very light tip. I'm going to use what I've mixed already, but just darken it with Payne's Grey. The good thing about Payne's Grey, the reason why it's my favourite darken, is actually, I think it's blue. Really, really dark blue, which means it really blends in really nicely with a lot of the other colours. It's not black, which you don't really get black in nature. Even in the pitch dark, it's sort of a grey colour. Actually, it lightens up towards the end of this tail. To be honest, I have not done that tail very good. Sorry, very well. There was a lot more detail there than I thought there was. Good 20 minutes worth of work, that tail. Do you see at the top right, the amount of detail in that tail? Good, sort of, as I say, 15-20 minutes work. What do I do today? I'm just trying to get the lines down. See how it zigzags. Why does this... I keep hearing the same songs. Oh. I need to work out how to use the sounds playlists. It just seems to be repeating the same songs over and over again. Even though there's a playlist of like over a couple of hundred. If you guys want to suggest any music, go to Epidemic Sounds, and I think you can listen to the music for free. You just can't. Might be wrong, but just check. Yeah, I think you can listen to music for free. Sorry, I'm in the wrong video. I think you can listen to the music for free, and just let me know, advise me on which, or give me some suggestions for which music you want me to play. May have gone a bit too light with this colour. Gonna whack some yellow ochre on it just to darken it a bit. You can't really see the difference between the sand and the... To be fair, in the photo it's not that obvious. More of a background thing, I think. Quickly do the background, just not so I don't confuse myself. Whiten up the background there, just so we have so we can have a clear boundary between what's animal and what's background. A lot greener, actually. It is a lot greener. Let's go and do something quite extreme. I've got this colour here called yellow green. Never opened it. Looks a bit scary. See that? Because my paint is very wet on the back here, I'm gonna whack a little bit of this on. Let's smudge it in with my finger and see what happens. Just to see if we can get a matching colour to the image. I mean, worst case scenario, I just have to paint over it. I think that has helped a little bit. Yeah, that is actually a little bit better. Let's just do a bit more of that. It's a hideous colour, but when it's blended in like this, it seems to be alright. Actually, this. Oh. I get some texture in there, in the back of this fish. Let me step back and have a look at what it looks like. I think I quite like it. I think I do quite like it. Right, last thing, I'm going to do some highlighting around the ridges that I made towards the back. I'm going to use the existing mixing this white with a bit of yellow ochre. Go along here and just do this. And then I'm just going to smudge it in. But at this point, I'm not really looking at the reference image. I'm just going through to see where I think it would benefit from some highlighting. So I'm not looking at it, I just looked at it 3 times then. Around these edges, I think there's an excuse to add a bit of sort of jaggedy texture. So I'm just doing some highlighting as we go through. Oh, a bit of paint spray on that. So I'm not really going to do the tail. So one of the things that this isn't popping very well at the moment is the other blue spots. So I need to redo the blue spots and make them highlighted. These spots are actually a little bit lighter, but at the edges they're quite dark, so I need to bring the lightness in, probably using a bit of different colours blues. I'm just going to have a little go at the tail. As I say, I'm not going to finish it at all today. Let's just highlight this blue ridge. Actually quite zigzaggedy, so there's a thing that does that. Let's just dab it in, so not quite as sharp as it was. A really nice highlight going along here. Actually, quite nice because I've just turned that into the background, so it's a lot sharper now. But what I really want to do is go like this and highlight that tail like that. That's probably the whitest part of the painting though. And then I've got some highlights down here. As I say, I'll do all the highlights later on. we'll add this highlight in here. As I said, I was starting off with the eye and we'll finish it. Make it pop a bit. This isn't a human eye, but actually, because we're humans and we're looking at it, let's add a bit of human-esque into the eye. It's a bit of whiteness. Maybe we'll be able to identify with the eye a little bit better, even though that's not in the actual image. Yeah, I've made that eye pop a little bit more now. Given this. There's quite a lot of like stuff that does that on here. Rubbing it on my finger. So I'll do that in the next sort of episode. It might be tomorrow, might not be, depends how I feel. As I say, I'm going to start out an actual schedule, try and work out what the best time for streaming is. My plan is actually every week do a couple of streams of an animal like this, a couple of streams of an actual portrait of a person, and then a weekend stream of just random stuff led by you guys, led by my viewers, more abstracty type things. No, it's not a great description, but so I think that'll do for today. I did say I would quickly take you through what my studio looks like. It's a bit of a, it's not actually that much of a mess. So I need to do this without breaking anything. Tell you what, the best way might be to use my webcam. So, I was going to use the big easel cam, but actually I'll use my webcam for this. It is attached, so we'll see how far it goes. So, there's my setup for my painting and art setup. I can't pull the webcam any further, I don't think. Can I? No, I don't think I can. That's the setup for the painting and the easels. That's obviously my painting. Got a big light there. Got another big light there, and there's my main camera for streaming. And obviously, that's my general setup for the webcam, for the studio. Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just replacing this back. So that was today's stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I say, I might be on tomorrow. I'm not going to commit. I'll give you. I'll start putting a schedule maybe next week or the week after. Well, thanks very much, guys. Appreciate everything. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all soon.